perfect light of God, exquisite innocence of all creation. The seeming journey that everyone who feels that stirring within to find the truth and live as that essence of truth is called to embrace this exquisite innocence, this exquisite perfection that is somewhat hidden beneath the belief in identity and the self-concept that has been made in the name of fear and self-loathing. In the journey that is truly without distance, but is the journey within to find that innocence and purity that is waiting to be discovered, and that has been asleep since time began, is now within reach, is now being held as not only possible, but guaranteed that you will remember the truth of all beauty and innocence and return home to the oneness with all creation. This is guaranteed. It is not a possibility, but a total guarantee. But as so many teachings have said, time is used either for remembering or for forgetting. And the amount of time that is used and the delay that is accepted is a choice. And that choice is in the everyday living, how to really enter the schoolroom and become the devoted student to the truth. For those who travel this journey and who have consciously entered into this journey, it may seem like most of humanity, most of the world is not joining. But because of the mysteries of creation and the mysteries of healing, there is no way of any one mind that has been devoted to the ego to understand the power that is within each one's devotion to truth. The devotion to truth is the power of God. It awakens the power of God within and can transform a nation, a world. It isn't about the transformation of a nation or the world, but to simply bring truth and love into the very fabric of your life's movement, and to live the sacred teachings. And as you live the sacred teachings, you heal within, and that devotion offers to all those that you have connection with. It offers to everyone the blessings of truth, the blessings of miracles. How do you bring miracles to others? That isn't a question that in the everyday life many are asking. Because in the everyday life, there seems to be a permission to try to fit into the regular world, as if the spiritual journey is the hard road and the everyday life becomes the vacation from that hard road. That is the upside downness of the mind that sees spiritual truth as a burden and the regular life as vacation. But to anyone who has lived the regular life and the pain that is that life, the pain of separation that is that life, it's a ruse. It's upside down. And part of the healing that occurs in the spiritual journey is that recognition that you have the opportunity and the gift that is really embracing what you truly want. There is no doubt that the stubbornness of the ego and the resistance of truth can seem very painful. The resistance is accepted as a fight for what you think you know. It demonstrates how embedded the identity becomes in wanting to protect and defend the self-concept's life, the self-concept that has been made in the name of separation. Love will prevail. Love will heal all of humanity. But it is not possible to awaken to the truth of all love and the truth of your magnificent self without extending that truth in the everyday life. That devotion, that intention is paramount in your own healing. I've used a demonstration before of how easy it is to follow the habits of the past by referring to a particular incident that occurred in a small town where a herd of sheep were going down the middle of the road. And one of the sheep saw their own reflection in one of the windows of one of the small businesses that they were passing by. And when the sheep saw its own reflection, it turned toward that reflection. And all the other sheep followed and went through the store. The teaching of that incident is very much the mindset of the false identity. It wants to follow what's known and is terribly afraid of bringing truth and love to all those around. It's a deep, deep learning to be able to speak and open the heart and demonstrate love. Because when the self-concept looks around and doesn't see anyone joining in, the authority, just like the sheep, switches from the authority of God to the authority of habit. But habit has no love. Habit has no possibility of devotion. Habit is run by fear and will imprison each beloved as quickly as possible. Habit holds that the known is important and the known is safety. But when you truly look, when you truly want to see the truth, the realization is that the habit, the known of the past, was exactly why every beloved who has been led to remember the truth was brought to that inquiry, that yearning to come home, to rest, and to find the exquisite joy and harmony and peace that you truly are. But it begins in the everyday. Meditation is a gift of connection and a gift of stillness and inner silence that is being called for to meet the beloved within. Prayer has the power of transformation within it. But along with meditation and prayer is the heart's intention of devotion to all beloveds. And it begins with the beloveds that are within Sangha and within the immediate area of life. All those that you have contact with, whether it's in person or whether it's by thought, are those who you are called to serve. And the deepest service of all is to live in the truth of love as deeply as possible and to demonstrate that truth. There is nothing more powerful than a peaceful heart and words that inspire and bring devotion to those around you, not because there's anybody proselytizing or having shoulds, but because your heart is wanting to offer peace. And maybe because the heart hasn't been primed enough, it becomes reticent from the mind to express itself. But it's the great gift, and it's the great healing that occurs. It's a leap of faith to bring an undefended heart to all beloveds who are around you. It's the greatest gift of your own devotion that inspires others to seek a new way for those who may not have yet been called. Humanity is so touched by devotion. And it's not something that is given to the masters to do. Every beloved is called to that for their own healing. There is no way of remembering without learning to be free with your heart, with truth. It's a deep learning, but it becomes your own healing. The temptation of the everyday life is to blend in with others, to match others with their beliefs and their ideas within the world. And how can you stay in peace and offer truth without proselytizing, without trying to tell someone facts? It's the heart. It's the heart that is radiating with humility and not knowing, but just offering love and peace and truth and surrendering into the hands of God all of the ideas of differences and levels and degrees and winning and strategies and likes and dislikes and opinions of all kinds. There's a soothing balm that occurs for beloveds when someone is able to offer them no opinions, no judgments, but just offer peace, offer happiness, and most of all, love. Every beloved in the world, in some place within them, feels that offering of love when it is offered. But it must be offered. It must be demonstrated. Is it different than when the beloved who came in the name that was called Jesus? It wasn't the words that he was speaking of, I am the child of God, but his radiating love and his demonstration that he could not be hurt, his demonstration that he was not at the effect of the world's anger and opinions, and he kept his heart undefended and offered love. And this is the learning in the everyday life. This is the deep calling. Even though the spiritual journey has a very inward relationship of healing, where you go within and meet the divine within, there is also the extension of love that is necessary. And the extension of love is in every word spoken, in every thought expressed, to be consciously asking, am I offering love? Am I offering peace with these words, with these thoughts? Everyone's familiar with the Hippocratic Oath that doctors take that says, first, do no harm. And imagine that you had that in your heart. Not that you could harm anyone, but that you would be, and first, offer only love. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, whatever the situation, it's the call to love. It's the schoolroom where you take the divine truths that bring healing to your heart and healing to your awareness of oneness and bring them into the world. Again, not to proselytize, but just to offer love and demonstrate peace. Just imagine that you have a situation that you're walking in and everything in you wants to go back into the habit of irritation of some kind because something isn't as you think it should be and your mind is back in the trance of limitation and separation. You've forgotten your purpose. You've forgotten your devotion in the moment. And can you bring yourself to recognize that that irritation is agreeing with the world, that you're all separate, that you're all without, and that there is no God, there is no love. That's the choice within each moment. And it's a deep calling. It's not only a deep calling of service to humanity, but it's a deep calling to your own healing. To learn to be in this world and not of it. That you are not stuck, you are not limited, you are not separate, you are not without, but that you are accepting that you are one with all love, and that you are willing to live that love and offer that love and bring healing and miracles to all that you're with and all that you hold in thought, that you're willing to bring true forgiveness to every relationship and extend that love and demonstrate the truth of peace. And to recognize that you are the extension of the Christ. You are the Christ. And what would the Christ say? What conversations would the Christ have that would bring more love, more truth, more healing? You have that power within you. As your heart opens and offers that love, it is your own healing that occurs. What a gift. What a calling. So in this moment, the willingness to affirm love, affirm that here in the infinite circle of love we are one, and to take that circle of love and to bring it into every aspect of life. And to no longer be willing to give allegiance to a trance of separation. The universe is all love, and the sanctuary is filled with that love because it's all that exists. There's only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And that life force is what will direct you, lead you, and commune with you so that you can serve all those around you. It begins within the spiritual center. It begins within the spiritual community to serve each other, to elevate each other in truth and love. To be the one that has refused to dance with judgment or opinions, but to bring peace and comfort and blessings to every beloved. The ease of the spiritual journey is actually increased as that love is extended. Because the fear of being found out, that you are not your personality, not your identity, not the past, begins to fall away. All the fear of being exposed is replaced by devotion. The devotion to God is the devotion to every beloved. Because every beloved is the light of God, waiting to be uncovered, remembered. In this prayer speaks to the strength that it takes to live the truth and to bring the truth to every moment of every situation. Oh, my Father, give me strength, give me courage on this road, to be a child of yours on earth and tread the path the Masters showed. Oh, my Mother, help me love, give me comfort to be aware, to obey these sacred teachings. It was your Son who showed the way. Oh, my Master, your compassion can see through our pain, for it was you who came to earth to release us from these chains. Oh, my Father, I am yours. Give me comfort to be aware. Send your angels here to guide me on this sacred path of the sun. Oh, my Father and my Mother, who rule the world of love, send your angels to receive me through the gateway of pure love. Give me strength. It does take strength. It does take courage. Eventually, it becomes everything natural. But the leap of faith to expose yourself as the holiness of God is the leap to be the authentic self, the pure self that you truly are. To obey the sacred teachings is not an indictment, it is the joy of offering the truth of love, the truth of harmony and ease, and the letting go of all the past of conflict and fears. Send your angels here to guide me. Everyone needs the guidance of truth as we walk in this world. We walk with mighty companions when we walk in the belief of separation. Companions are always offered and surround you, so that you're never on your own as you offer love. All of heaven celebrates your truth and your compassion and your kindness as you offer it. And as you eliminate all opinions and judgments and likes and dislikes and good and bad, all surrendered, let go, and only the love will remain. This prayer is a prayer of acknowledgement of who you truly are. And because it's in a prayer that is spoken out loud, sang out loud, it's not some place that is just held in a closet and hidden with as an identity, but expressed as truth. And it's a calling to step forth, to step forward into the world and to bring truth and love. I am life. I am the path. I am the pure and eternal love. And I come to the door of truth and are willing to join in the truth of God. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere where there are beloveds gathered in the name of love. I am there. I am the light, I am the torchbearer. I bring truth. I am the child. I am one with the Father. I am one with the Holy Spirit. And I join with the Redeemers of truth. This is the declaration of the heart to accept the miracles that you can bring to all beloveds who are yearning for peace. And even those who are not aware that they are yearning for peace, but would love to rest. So a vida, so caminho, eu sou pura e eterna amor. Sou a chave da porta estreita que vos leva de volta ao Senhor. Estou aqui, eu estou lá, eu estou sempre em todo lugar. Onde estivermos reunidos em meu nome, eu ali estou. Sou a luz, sou o teu cheiro, eu sou o mestre ensinador. Sou filho, sou pai, sou Espírito Santo, e sou o vosso Redentor. The heart has been kept in a box. The heart has been kept in a vault, protected and defended against the world. And the calling of love calls every beloved to no longer be willing to keep the heart in the box, to keep the heart in a vault, but to open, undefended, and offer love. To be the fool for love, to go past the fears of being exposed as the one who is not part of the sheep herd that turns in the direction of the first sheep, but that actually stands in firmness of love. Sometimes it isn't what you say, but what isn't said that is so powerful. Your peace is palpable. Your open heart is palpable. The love in your eyes is palpable. The offering of that love is palpable. And the words aren't necessary. It's just the omission of the words that usually are about knowing from the past and ideas of the world's view. To just quietly be in the not knowing is the gift to all those that you touch. The world has been made in the pretense of knowing something, but that everything that's been known in the world has been separation. And this is the calling to unite, to come back to oneness with all beloveds. I vote for you for God. When your eyes have found the strength to constantly speak to the world all that is most dear to your own life, when your hands and your feet and your tongue can perform in that rare union that comforts the longing earth with the knowledge of love, your soul is being groomed to his city and in his city of love. And when you can make others smile with humor that belittles no one, and your words always bring love and unite, all masters will vote for you. Hafiz will vote for you to be the minister of every country in this universe. Every master does vote for you, my dear. I vote for you to be God. The calling of this satsang is the universal calling of all masters, all divine beings that are calling every beloved to the same purpose. Can you imagine when your eyes have found the strength, when your heart has found the strength to constantly speak to the world all that is most dear to your own life? What is most dear to your own life but your longing to remember and to come home? So what is it that you share in the everyday life? What is it that you want to convey? And at the end of the day, what do you leave beloveds with? Are they touched by an unknown comfort that you brought without them even realizing the deep love that you have that lives within, and that you want others to recognize within themselves, and that you recognize that light within each beloved? When your hands and feet and tongue can perform in that rare unison that comforts the longing earth within the knowledge of love, is that possible for the ordinary learner to step into? Absolutely. And it must be stepped into. It's part of the healing. It's not that you have to go stand on a platform. It's in quiet. It's the quiet one-on-one relationship with each beloved, and including the beloveds that are walking the same path with you. Sometimes that is just as powerful a teaching as any, to open your heart, to practice demonstrating your willingness to speak with your hands and feet and tongue in the knowledge of the divine. Not with knowing, not with arrogance, not with controlling, but in that quiet, humble place that says, I'm just here learning to love. And I want to learn to love the beloved that stands in front of me. And that I want to remove all ideas of what I think I know and have no judgments, no opinions of anyone's choices, but that I choose peace, I choose love, I choose truth to bring to everyone. Your soul, which is your spirit, has been groomed in his city of love. And truly, that is real. You have been groomed in the city of love through all sacred teachings, all the teachings that you've taken deeply in your heart and accepted and want to embrace those truths so that you can be freed from the past. That is the grooming in the city of love. As you know, when Martin Luther King said, "I've been to the mountaintop." Well, every beloved who enters the spiritual journey goes to that mountaintop and communes with the divine within the heart, within the quiet of introspection, meditation. But then it's bringing it into the world. And when you can make others smile with humor that belittles no one, that is a temptation that I certainly carried in the past. Wanting to join in joking that was sometimes at the expense of others, particularly others that didn't happen to be there. And to completely surrender that and give that, put that on the altar to God, and to forgive all the times in the past that was such a temptation. But now, no longer wanting to speak anything unless those words were going to unite in love rather than separate in some way or affirm separation. How do you affirm separation? By affirming separate identities and separate likes and dislikes and opinions about what's good and what's not good, and all of that is being asked to be let go and not brought to others, but to letting all your words always unite, always bringing healing and love. The masters will vote for you to be the minister of every country in this universe. That is not a place of prestige. That is a place of saying you will bring healing to everyone. You have that power. That power of your wanting to remember the truth of oneness is the power that you bring to all creation. And it is not a little thing. It is the power of transformation. And you may not have thought that you had the power of transformation within you. And it isn't about convincing anybody about a path or anything else. It's about demonstrating love from within, expressing that love. And then all the masters will vote for you, my dearest, to be God, because it is what you are, and the willingness to live there, and to not hide from it. And maybe many beloveds aren't aware of the hiding, how easy it is to be reluctant to express love. And it is, in a way, easier to continue just the status quo of the past to blend in, to fit in, to be what you may think others want you to be. But you're answering to the power of God. You are the servant of love by your wanting to remember. The choice is always there. And the realization that you can choose again in any moment is to choose again. To choose again if you want to serve the truth of love. But it's important to also be aware of asking that question from within. What's my purpose in this moment? What is my choice in this moment? And in questioning that, it brings you out of the trance. Actually, just by the mere question, it opens everything up, and you're no longer in the trance as you were maybe a moment ago, out of habit. You've stepped out of habit, and you've recognized that you have a choice to make. The choice of love, or the choice to remain in fear and hold beloveds in that same fear. It's tempting. It's like, this is like a giant trance where everybody is in a fashion statement. Everybody that's in a fashion statement is making sure that they fit in to the fashion that everyone else is agreeing with. All the skirts are the same length, are the right length, are the pants the right length, are the colors the right colors for the seasons. Everything has been agreed upon. And something that seems so silly becomes the agreement with everything. And can you possibly ask, instead of meeting the fashion of the day, could you possibly ask, what would be helpful for me to wear today that will serve love? Will it be the same clothes? Might be. But the whole intention becomes a new awareness. I'm here to serve love. I'm here to remember love. When you're with beloveds and you express your private thoughts, your opinions, your own ideas, you're actually affirming and offering the belief of separation. It may not be that obvious to anyone because it just seems pretty normal to have your own private thoughts of what you think you know and refer to the past. But you wouldn't have anything else that you would be offering if they were private thoughts, because they're just thoughts that have been made up. And if your intention is to offer love and peace, it's going to come from your heart. What you might bring through in your words would come from your heart. It would come from a place of wanting to offer love. And that will follow. Love will follow where the intention is to offer love. It's not about the words being perfect or poetic or repeating teachings or anything like that. It's just the intention of the heart. that your heart is filled with kindness and wanting to bring peace to others because you love, because you care. The temptation of wanting to be in a self-concept, which only means that it's a concept of an identity that has been developed. And when you have that self-concept, or you see that concept of others, it's the real learning that it's not the truth of them, and it's not the truth of you. And are you willing to let that go? To let go what you have known in the past? The fear that everybody holds of letting go of all the identities of the past that have been established is the ego is screaming at the same time, all of these identities are important. And the belief is that you won't open to love. But the truth is that as you let go of the concepts of yourself and of others, you do open to love. It actually, love is uncovered because the self-concepts didn't have love in them. They were roles that were attached. And as most, when there are roles, there are expectations of what those roles are going to, how they're going to perform, how they're going to work and weave and be with each one. But it's a place that engenders fear, because within the roles is a whole identity of hierarchy and those that are down the ladder of those roles, and the ones that are dominant and the ones that are passive, and everybody's got their identities figured out, and you need to stay within those identities in order to stay in the world. But every beloved that's in one of those roles, and most beloveds have many roles depending on who they're with, but all of the roles are manufactured and have been made out of the need for a defense, unconsciously. No one has said, I'm going to make a defense out of my role. I'm going to use roles to be defended. It's not a conscious, but it's a very unconscious place that you're being called consciously to forgive those roles and to see beyond the roles, to see the truth of each beloved, and to bring blessings and comfort to each one. Imagine that you would be aware that in every moment you would be choosing between the weakness of an identity and the strength of the Christ within you. And that is what you have to choose from. And you do have that to choose from. And thank God, the choice is finally available to open to your soul that has been groomed in his city of love. Are you there yet? Probably not, maybe. But every time you offer love and authenticity, peace, harmony, your heart is closer to its trueness. Part of the box has thinned out, part of the the vault that you made to protect, defend your heart thins out. And you find more and more courage in truth, because the truth is a place of courage. Oh, my Father, give me strength, give me courage on this road. It isn't just the courage to accept the truth and to forgive the lies that the ego has manufactured of pain and suffering and being unfairly treated and competitiveness and jealousies and greed and everything else that the ego has to offer, all of it forgiven. And in that comes strength and courage, because you are opening to this divinity that is the truth of who you are. Imagine that in your everyday life, that you would begin the day with, of course, prayer, your intention of the day of opening and surrendering, and that you would have a prayer that would affirm, let me not bind my beloveds with my opinions or ideas. Let me not bind them. That's such an offering of love. It's like the great love, that you would not want to bring anything to anyone that would not serve their remembering. In one of Hafiz's poems, it says, I do not want to look on anything in this world without seeing the truth of love. That was his declaration. I do not want to see anything in this world without seeing the truth of love. And when you have that prayer in your heart, it's guaranteed that then you're going to see love, because you are joining, you are in, and you have the power of that intention, and it will manifest. If you want to see only love, you will see only love. If you want to see only the brilliance and innocence of each beloved, you will see only the brilliance and innocence of each beloved. Nothing can stop the power of your intention. Will your mind cooperate? Not necessarily. But that's the learning, is to refuse the mind and its little thoughts, its little personal ideas and habits, and really want to see only with love, only with truth. Is it the place where your heart bursts open and remembers the joy and peace and harmony? Yes. That's the beauty of offering love, is that your heart begins to burst open and you are the recipient of, it's not your love, it's the love that is the universal love of all life. Every beloved has a place of resistance. The ego guarantees that. But to recognize the resistance and to refuse to be the slave of that resistance is where the healing really is so profound. My teacher used to say to me often, your healing is not painful. Your remembering is not painful, but your resistance to the truth and to love is very painful. Only your resistance. And resistance is a choice. It's a choice where fear screams at you sometimes, but you don't have to listen to that either. It's just smoke and mirrors. You always choose. There's never a moment that you don't choose what it is you truly want. And that is where the power of your journey rests, is in your choice. And the forgiveness is so essential. To forgive all of the identities of the past, to forgive all of the beliefs of struggle and battle and protection, surrendering it all and forgiving yourself for the mistaken identity, and forgiving each beloved of the past for the mistaken identity that you've given them, wanting to set them free more than anything, wanting them to live in joy and peace and harmony, because it's what they are. Only love. The everyday life is your schoolroom. And it's a beautiful, beautiful schoolroom that allows you to bring your essence, your divine spirit, to serve love. And the more that you allow your divine spirit to serve love, the stronger and more profound your divine spirit becomes in your awareness. Only love. There's a beautiful teaching that says, as you use all the little names and symbols which designate and delineate the delusional world, do not accept them as your reality. Do not accept the little names and the little symbols that are used in the world to cloud the truth. Use them because it's what is used, but recognize that they have no reality. The one that you know as Mike is not Mike, is the light of God. The one that you know as Mary is not Mary, she is the light of God. And one isn't even male or female. They've all been male and they've all been female in other lifetimes. It's just letting it all go and seeing into the heart of each beloved, seeing the light that they are and holding that for them. And allowing that you do not know what anything is for and what it means, but that you're willing to be shown the way of love, easily and effortlessly walking the path of love itself. Being the spirit that brings peace and harmony to each beloved, and that you're just no longer willing to hold others hostage in the belief of separation by affirming likes and dislikes and opinions of all kinds, but to just keep bringing it back to love. I don't know anything. I'm just here to learn to love. The world is waiting for your soul, your spirit, to bring that love and bring that truth of joy and peace and harmony. And the most courageous element is to be in a place where there seems to be turmoil and you're bringing peace. And you're not afraid to bring the peace. You're not afraid to bring another possibility. And you're not seeing anyone as right or wrong, but just the call for love. Nothing else. And that you are not walking and hearing the same calling necessarily as everyone, but that you're confident in your devotion and your desire to remember. That you let that confidence, not arrogance, but confidence in love, become the firmness within and the courage to open the heart and demonstrate love. That is the way. That is the way of truth that you can make others laugh, happy, by bringing laughter, but never to belittle anyone with differences and limitation. Just learning to love. Learning the way of love. You are life. You are love. You are the door that can open for beloved's healings, for the remembering of love. You are the child. You are the child of the Father, and you are one in the Holy Spirit. This is the gift that you bring in your own remembering. And it is the gift that will heal humanity. You are the miracle worker. Your heart brings the miracles of love. And love is all that is real. Nothing else exists. And every vote is for you, for God, because it's what you already are. The light of God, the offering of love.